filmmakers, my name is Marina Bruno and welcome to Wandering Pictures. For those of you who don't know, I make films and Wandering Pictures is the name of my production company. I write, direct, produce, and edit a ton of short films which you could watch all on this YouTube channel right here. Please subscribe if you're into filmmaking, creative writing, or if you just enjoy checking out short films. This right here is the Wandering Pictures online film course where I share some of my own personal tips and techniques on filmmaking, screenwriting, all based on my own personal filmmaking experience. So you want to make a short film, huh? Well, today I'm going to talk about the step-by-step process of exactly how to make a short film. And now, obviously, there's a million different ways you can make a short film, but these are some of my own filmmaking step routine that I do when I'm making my own short films. Obviously, feel free to change and adjust the way that works best for you, but here are some of my own personal pointers. So I just wanted to take a moment to let you guys know that this video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community for creators with more than 25,000 classes in film production, video editing, and filmmaking. If you're an aspiring filmmaker who's not yet in film school or who wants to learn more about filmmaking and you think this will be of value and will find lots of useful benefits in it, then I totally recommend signing up. I personally love the class on low budget filmmaking, tips and tricks for an indie look, because it helps break down the filmmaking process for indie filmmakers who self-fund their films like myself. The premium membership gives you unlimited access, so you can join the classes and communities that are just right for you and your filmmaking goals and ambitions. Whether you want to fuel your curiosity, creativity, or even your career, Skillshare is the perfect place to keep you learning and thriving. I personally love how they have so many different classes for so many unique niches. It's kind of like the YouTube for online film courses. Skillshare will help you learn more on how to be a better filmmaker and will exercise your creative mind with these courses. Skillshare is also super affordable. An annual subscription is less than 10 bucks a month. Join more than 7 million creators learning with Skillshare. Sign up now and you'll get 2 free months of Skillshare Premium. Check out the link in my description to sign up now. Alright, back to the vid. I know an entire short film can be pretty daunting at first, and it's normal if you do feel overwhelmed. The trick is to not look at making a short film as an entire task in itself, but rather an entire finalized creation that's actually made up of a bunch of other smaller scale creations. Don't look at it as if you have to make a short film, but instead see it as you have to do one simple thing at a time, and eventually you're gonna have a short film. So think of it as you're painting every single puzzle piece one at a time, and then you piece it together, and then you have the entire puzzle. But you have to focus on each piece at a time with your fullest attention. You should divide it into all the different steps, and then tackle each step with your full focus and attention for each. Don't focus on anything other than the exact step that you are currently working on. If you're worried about everything all at once, then this can create an unnecessary feeling of overwhelmness. You don't have to make an entire short film all in one step. It's actually a step-by-step process divided into 3 categories, which is pre-production, production, and then post-production. Before I get into the steps, keep in mind that making a short film isn't a race. Take your time with each step and enjoy the entire process. Don't worry about casting the actors while you're writing the script. Don't think about how you're going to color grade the shot while you're on set filming. This is scattering your focus and takes away energy from the current step that you're on, which requires your full, undivided attention. AKA, don't rush a step to get to the next step. You'll get to the next step once you properly complete the current one that you're on. When you're able to divide the entire short film into micro, step-by-step processes, then it'll suddenly become a lot less scary, and then you'll realize that making a short film actually isn't as daunting as you thought. When our minds think of the big picture all at once, it thinks of every single step all at once. And that's when the feeling of being overwhelmed can come in. Because it's basically like our brains sort of crash from the access of information and inability to focus on anything specific, so then it stops. And then you can become less motivated to actually take action because you don't know where to start, and then that's when you kind of become paralyzed. This is common, that when you have too many things to do, you just want to like lay in bed and not do anything. That's a result of being overwhelmed. It's kind of like if you open 100 different tabs all at once in your computer, what will happen? Your computer will most likely crash. If you focus on the step that you're currently working on with proper focus and attention and patience until you get it just right, then you'll let the process be simple. And when you see it as simple, the execution ironically gives you the big picture result that you visualized from the beginning. So the first step to making a short film is to write out a very realistic to-do list in the order of the production process, categorized in the 3 sections: pre-production, production, and then post-production. Pre-production is all the organizing, planning, scheduling, and preparing. If pre-production is done properly, then the next stages will run smoothly. After pre-production comes production. Think of pre-production as going to the paint store to get the canvas, paintbrush, paints, etc. And then your filming day, which is production, is the moment you sit down to paint. When you're filming, you don't have to worry about getting all of the material, you already have it because you did that in pre-production. Personally, I think there's nothing more important than clarity. You should know the exact vision of what you want your short film to look like before you even start filming. Production is the filming itself. It can be a 1-day shoot or a few days of a shoot. Personally, it takes me about 1 day to shoot a 5 to 10 minute short film, but of course it depends on your own filmmaking style and how long your short film is going to be. So after production, once you get all of the shots done, while you're in production, you shouldn't worry about anything except for getting the shots. So if you have to sacrifice something, personally, I'm like that. When I'm filming, I don't care about anything else. That's the mentality I have as a filmmaker. Of course, everyone is different. When you're getting the shot, you need to focus on just getting the shot, and that should be the only focus. If getting the shot might result in some unwanted consequences outside of the film, you can deal with that later, but just get the shot. After production then comes post-production, which is the editing of your film. So making this initial overall to-do list is the time to plan everything, because once you're in it and making the short film, you won't have time to worry about the big picture because you're going to be so absorbed in each step of the filmmaking process. So pre-production consists of writing the script, making a prop list, making the costume list, location scouting, storyboarding, hosting auditions, and making lists basically. You should be specific, precise, and clear to exactly every little thing you need for the shoot. So, for writing the script, especially if you're an independent filmmaker, a student filmmaker, or a first-time filmmaker with almost no budget, my biggest tip for you is to write a script that you know that you can film. This means consider all of the elements you currently have access to right now. What locations do you know that you can film in? What actors do you have available that you know can fit the part? Do you have any cool props that could be useful? If you consider what you definitely can use now, then this will make the process of actually making the short film go so much more smoother, and will eliminate the possibility of you coming up with excuses of why you can't do the short film. Being thoughtful with what you have is not limiting yourself. I'm sure you have an infinite amount of potentials that you could film with. For your script, you really want to focus on the story. A short film is really about the story you're telling. Nobody cares about how high quality your camera is if you're not telling a good story. I'm not going to go into detail of how to write a short film script in this video, but I'll tell you the basic points, which is you need a beginning, middle, and end. You should know where your story is headed before you even start writing, so you should know your ending before anything else. This will give you a sense of direction and purpose for your short film. If you want to learn the full step-by-step process of how to write a short film, or want to know how to format a screenplay, or any other screenplay tips, I made a playlist here for you guys called Script Writing, and it contains all the videos I've done about writing scripts from the Wondering Pictures online film course, and as well as some of my past videos that I did from my second YouTube channel. So if you want to check that out, you can click out the card right here. After you have your script, you want to location scout. Make a list of all the props and costume pieces that you need and who's going to be your cast and crew. You want to make a list and go physically get what's on your list right now until you've accumulated absolutely everything. Lock in your locations by making sure that you have permission to film in all the places that you want to film at, and then find your exact team, which is your cast and crew, which are people who you know are legit willing to help out with the production. So if you wrote your script based on what you have, then this step should be a breeze because you already know what you're going to be using. The key here is to literally prepare everything right now as if your shoot day is going to be tomorrow. Get it all done now. And if any problems or obstacles arise, you can find a solution or an alternative so that you can move forward with the next steps and you know that you'll be ready for when you actually need to film. Then lastly, for pre-production, once you got your team and everything is ready to go, you want to do rehearsals, schedule your shoot days on a my calendar and go through your list to make sure that you have everything. The first part of making a short film, which is pre-production, is literally planning and getting everything ready for your filming days. This is the part of collecting, organizing, making lists, being clear with how it's going to be shot, etc. This is usually the job of a producer on a bigger film set, but if you're an independent filmmaker, then chances are you're going to be doing everything. Remember, the more clarity you have, the better. Clarity is key for a smooth production because it eliminates any confusion, which just slows down the entire process. Clarity makes everything very simple. There are so many elements with filmmaking, so you want to make sure that every single puzzle piece is perfect if you want your entire film to be what you intend it to be. When you're on set filming on the shoot day, the only thing you need to worry about is getting the shot. You cannot waste any time or focus on what you should have had ready in pre-production. Next is the production, so this is the filming. This is usually the most intense, demanding, and in the moment part of filmmaking that has the most pressure and can cause the most stress. Because once you're done filming and you have all the shots, you can relax. If in the moment you're tired or you're stressing out or whatever, your well-being doesn't really matter because the only thing that matters is your movie. The shoot day is like you jump out of the plane with a parachute and that's it. There's no going back. You're forced to be in the moment. Nothing else matters except for opening up your parachute on time. If you visualize your entire movie in your head before filming then this will make for a much smoother shoot because it's almost like you programmed your brain to make the exact movie. So it will automatically do what it takes to make sure to make it happen despite any obstacles that arise. And finally, after production comes post-production. This is usually where you can kind of calm down because there's no more crazy pressure, and this is the part where you can really take your time. You already got all of your shots. There's no more external influences that can affect the film. It's already done. Now all you gotta do is piece it together at your own pace, and you can really take your time to make sure that each scene is perfect. Even if you screw up in editing, you can always go back and re-edit. Fix and adjust as much as you want. You can use programs like Adobe, Final Cut Pro, or Avid to edit with. I personally use Adobe. If you're still a newbie, you can also use simpler software like iMovie. After editing, you can then work on promotional material like the poster, the title, credits, the YouTube thumbnails, making the teaser trailer, uploading it to IMDb, stuff like that. And yeah, that is how you make a short film. Let's end this episode with an Instagram question from you guys. Toby Cole Chicago asks, first short film project, what did you do wrong the first time that we can do better? The biggest mistake that I made when I made my first short film, which is called Run, is that I totally rushed the process. I didn't care about the quality, I just wanted to get it done. Because of that, so many of the shots you can tell were very run and gun shooting and very messy. Check it out for yourself. I was so obsessed with the big picture that I was stressed out the whole time and I didn't enjoy every single step. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope this video was helpful. If there's something I didn't cover in this video that you would like me to elaborate on, please let me know in the comments below so I can incorporate them in a future video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to Wondering Pictures for new film course videos, and be sure to check out my short films and let me know what you thought about them. And follow me on Instagram for raw behind the scenes every single day. And if you want to support this channel and my films, you can become a producer on Patreon. Also, be sure to check out the Wondering Pictures clothing store where you can get a shirt that represents who you are and what you do. These shirts have a magical vibe to them, so basically whenever you wear them, you will inevitably become the best version of whatever it is that your shirt is. So I have one for director, editor, also boom operator, so you can get a shirt for everyone on your film set so you can know who is who. These shirts basically spark and ignite the motivation and inspiration and drive that is already within you. So basically, if you get a director shirt, you can't not make short films. I also have a shirt for camera operator. There's a lot of cool shirts, so if you want to check them out. I also just released a new collection called the Creator Title Collection, so I also have shirts for other creatives like vloggers, podcasters, filmmaker, music composer, all of that. So check it out and find a shirt that's right for you. Also, if you guys want to check out more of me, you can check out my second YouTube channel, which is just personal vlogs and other types of videos like skits and stuff like that. Alright guys, check you later.